Hello everyone, welcome back to my craft room. My name is Whitney Lucas. I'm with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today's Facebook Live is going to be a winter themed, winter greens grapevine wreath. Thank you guys for participating in my poll on the Facebook page and voting on what you guys wanted to see me do this week. So I'll just wait a few minutes to let you guys kind of file in a little bit and see how everyone's doing. I'm going to set up my tablet right here to make sure I see you guys' comments. And this one is just like it's just a little reprieve from all the Christmas that everyone's been doing and everything everyone's been seeing. So this is just something to put on your door or to put somewhere in your home that will, you know, make things still festive, but just kind of like a calm down or like a, you know, like a smooth transition into, I guess, winter, since spring isn't coming anytime soon. This one is just something that's basically just a bunch of greens and a few ribbons, and it makes a huge impact, and it also helps still keep things within the same, you know, decorative type look. Things still look good. Hi, Teresa. Happy New Year to you too. Yes, thank you very much. Today's January 1st, 2018. So let's see what this year brings to all of us. Should be pretty exciting. So let me pull this thing up real quick. I see you guys' comments here. Diane, hi. Happy New Year to you too from England. Yes. And Happy New Year, Teresa. Oh, to Diane. Yeah, you guys. Thanks very much. I love hearing from you guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, Martha, hi, Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for coming in, joining us today. Basically, all my supply list is a bunch of greens. Pick whatever you've got. If you've got a lot on hand, this is basically what I did is I went into my little floral wall in there that you guys have seen, and I have all my bottom rows all greens, everything I've collected up. I didn't go out and purchase anything new for this project. I had all this stuff on hand. So this is a mixture of JoAnn's, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I have a flower from Pier 1 on here. This is just a jumble of everything I already have on hand. So that way, hopefully, if you guys have a huge floral stash or you have a lot of leftovers from previous projects, this should be able to get, you know, some of the supplies out and then also still make a huge impact on, you know, the floral, as far as a huge impact on your door or your pantry and your kitchen, your living room, anywhere you want to hang this guy. It's definitely going to be really, really pretty and still very, you know, wintry. A little low key, but still very beautiful. So let's see. Meddy Riggs, Happy New Year, Whitney. First time watching you live. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, all these things are going to go up on YouTube. So again, if you guys are watching this playback right now on YouTube, thank you guys very much for joining me. But right now we're doing our live, right? So all you guys come in. I'm going to keep checking your comments from time to time. I got my phone here. I got my tablet down here. So I'll just check in from you guys to see anything. And then at the very end, I'll take a look and try to scroll through comments to see if there's anything I missed at the end. And Teresa, thank you very much for sharing my video. I appreciate that. I always forget to say that. If you guys can, and you feel inclined to, go ahead and give me some hearts, thumbs ups, and then share the video. Every little bit helps, gets my page a little bit more attention, gets me a little bit further to my end goal. And that's to be basically, I want to be up there with the big people. I want to be up there with the big designers and the big folks. But I also still want to keep teaching and keep showing everybody the things that I've learned and then the stuff that I learned from you guys too. It's like just like one big huge craft table that we all sit at together, even though we're doing it online. That's to me, this is the best part. I get to sit here and I make things, and then I get to comment with you guys, and then I get to see you guys' ideas as well. I love your input, and then I like the things you guys show me, and then the things that I show you guys. It's really, really rewarding to hear a lot of the comments. You guys are very happy with what I'm doing, and I'm happy too. Oh, Happy New Year. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. You too. Happy New Year. Thank you. You're amazing. I will be. Thank you very much. That's my end goal. I want to be the YouTube, what do you call that? YouTube crafter, or you could say it, whatever. Whatever that means. Whatever it means, as long as I get to keep doing this. So, just to get started, I'm just going to go through and show you guys. I have, all of these are leftovers, like I said before. So this is an old Hobby Lobby guide that I got 50% off. As you remember, the key with Hobby Lobby is every other week, all of their floral and stems and greens are half off. Michael's, their greens never go on sale. So just if you're trying to find that deal or you're trying to find a budget-friendly option to make this wreath, try Hobby Lobby every other week. You could probably get away with one of these mixed bushes that I got. There's a bunch of different selections because there's a whole bunch of different types of greens within one bush, and you don't have to worry about piecing little tiny things here and there together. So this actually wouldn't be just your only supply if you're looking for a more budget-friendly way to make the same wreath. I have got this guy. I don't know if I'm going to use these long pieces here, but I definitely want to use some of these lighter greens and then these little guys here. There's some little spindly pieces in here like this and this that I want to use in the wreath. Those are really speaking to me at the moment. I'm going to throw this back and throw this up here. This is also Hobby Lobby, but this, again, guys, I don't know what I'm actually going to be using out of this whole bunch. I grab stuff as I'm holding it together and I'm looking at it. Sure, I could use that. Sure, I could use this. We'll see how it pans out as we're making it together. I'll probably be asking you guys for some advice too, to see what you guys think. So these is just a little tiny fern thing. Also Hobby Lobby floral. Wait till it's 50% off. So instead of $5, I got the whole bush for $2.50. But I've used some of this for a previous project or for a previous wreath already. But I still have a large amount left. And these guys make a good impact, again, just for filler. Everything we're going to put in here, all the greens are going to complement each other. When you start to get a big variety, in my opinion, I think that once you get the biggest variety, it's not mainly sticking with one color green or another color green. When you get a whole bunch of them together, you guys will see they start to look really, really good, and they'll complement each other, regardless if it's a dark evergreen or a really light limey fern green. You guys will take a look at it. I can't wait to make this. I haven't made one yet, but I'm excited to see how this turns out. So this is Hobby Lobby. I got a Ficus. Got a Ficus here, also Hobby Lobby. Wait for everything I got 50% off. These I've had, and I got a big old stack of these. These come in handy for pretty much everything, whether it's filler or anything like that. So the ficus stem, the fern, and this big variegated bush have all been used. Well, the ficus is new, but have all been used for previous projects or previous wreaths. So those I'm going to keep on hand. And then looks like these little guys. Oh yeah, these little guys are Hobby Lobby also. These are like a little. They have like a dusty look to them, so that brings a little bit more gray or a little bit of blue into it. And I believe that this is probably, I want to say that it's some sort of, is this some sort of herb or something like that? I think it might be, it's not rosemary. Could be sage. It's really pretty though. And it has a really light dusty effect to the leaves as well. So I got these little guys also Hobby Lobby. These are new. I haven't touched these yet. These I just had on hand. Now, this guy right here, this guy is JoAnn's. And I bought this so long ago that I honestly can't remember how much I paid for it. The tag on it says $4.99, but I don't ever buy anything full price. So I always wait for a deal or a coupon or something like that. So this one has actually been in my stash for such a long time, I honestly couldn't tell you what kind of sale I got on it. But they might still have them. JoAnn's greens also, as far as I know, don't really go on sale. I don't spend much time at JoAnn's. I don't have that much experience with them. But if you guys know, let us know. I usually only go to JoAnn's when I have a notification on my phone from their app that I got some kind of good crazy coupon. So if you look here, the reason why I picked this guy up was I like the detail on the leaves. These leaves look extremely realistic and they're shiny. And then also, if you look here, there's these little... You see right here? There's these little brown, like, berry type looking things inside of it. They're kind of hard to see. I don't know if the camera's picking them up. They're kind of hard to see on the camera here. There's one there. But when you're looking at the actual piece here, you don't really, the first thing you see is you don't see those little brown berries or those little brown seeds. But they're really, really cute. And I just thought that it was a cute complement to the bush. So that's why I got this guy. And I felt like this darker green with these really pretty leaves. I felt like that was really going to complement what I wanted to do today. That was JoAnn's. This guy's Michael's, and this guy I picked up because I like the white berries on it. I honestly do not know what this is supposed to be, you know, in real life, IRL. Couldn't tell you. I just bought it because I thought the leaves were pretty, and I like the color of the berries. I also have this in green. Michael still has these. I bought this earlier, I'd say this year, but in 2017, last year. I bought those earlier then, and, geez, I can't get it out. So I can show you guys. There we go. I bought it earlier, but again, Michael's goodies don't really, their Greenery doesn't go on sale, so wait till you get a coupon if you absolutely have to have it. And this guy absolutely did have to have because I really like those white berries. And I think putting a little pop of white in here, because also I've got this beautiful hydrangea I'm going to put in there. I think this is going to put a little bit of accent in it. So if you guys see here, cute little white berries, just your average little leaves. Don't know what this is. I just liked it, so I bought it. We'll put that in there. And then lastly, this is a hydrangea from Pier 1. This guy is big and fluffy and very pretty, and it wasn't cheap. Now this guy regularly is $6.95, so it's $7 for one hydrangea, but I don't know if you guys can tell. This is huge, and it's very, very fluffy, and it's not it's not lacking in any way. It's a big hydrangea. Here's my hand to show you. You know, this is a huge, it's almost the size of my face. You see, I mean, this is a huge hydrangea, and I really like it. I believe I got some sort of 20% off coupon when I went there for card holders for Pier 1, but Pier 1 is like a splurge for me. I made myself an arrangement for my master bedroom, so I bought a whole bunch of different colored hydrangeas and some other things, and then this guy was left over. So I only had one left, so I figured I would pop this in this wreath just to place a little bit of floral in there. I can't ever just not put a flower in something. It's kind of like I can't not mess with my ribbon, and I can't not mess with stuff when I'm out in public. I can't not put a floral piece in this. So this guy's going to go probably down or off to the center. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it, but I'm definitely going to put this guy in there. Lastly, you guys know Grapevine Wreath. This is an 18-inch Grapevine Wreath. You can get them anywhere. $5 at Hobby Lobby, $5 at Michael's. Again, you guys, sales, coupons, and apps, best way to go. Get you really, really good deals. It is just your average 18-inch Grapevine Wreath. Definitely going to do that. My ribbon selection, I'm still on the wall with. I picked these out yesterday, and they've been looking at them, but I'm going to definitely do this burlap one because I like, there's like almost an olive green in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can get this off here. Because I'm definitely going to be using this ribbon. This is burlap type ribbon. It's all wired, but if you look closely, there is a green, there's a green hue to it. Along with the beige burlap, there's a green inside there. So I figured I definitely want to put that in there. But my second choice, usually I was just going to do one ribbon, but I don't think I'm going to leave it just with one ribbon. I'm not absolutely sure. You know, there's this beige ribbon I got here. This is a Sam's purchase from 2017 when Sam's put all their holiday ribbon out. There's a nice, this is just a nice beigey canvasy looking ribbon. And then there was this also, and it's just this is not wired, but this is a lighter lime green. This I got at Paper Mart, along with this one. This is a Paper Mart purchase. And again, with Paper Mart, this is a 25-yard roll. So there's 75 feet in this guy. There's a lot of ribbon in here, and I got it for $12. And that's a really good price for burlap, wired burlap. So when you break this down, it ends up being about 20 cents a foot. Not bad at all. And Paper Mart, I haven't made a purchase from them in a while. Paper Mart sent me this for free in one of my orders. They send me like an extra little piece, a little spool of ribbon every time I order. Now, I don't know if that's standard for them because I haven't had that many orders for them. But every time you open up a box from an order and you get a little gift in there, that's kind of just awesome, right? So this was one of them. It's not wired, but I've used this for maybe a few other little small things. I just don't know if I like the two together. So I may or may not use that. There's this light beige. And then here is this from Hobby Lobby. It is how big is this? This is a 4-inch wide window pane burlap wired ribbon. This one's also really pretty. This one might complement behind this guy. Definitely using this one. So those are our ribbon selections right now. I want to see what comes to me after I get the larger pieces in. If I get the larger pieces in and I don't know exactly what I want to do for the ribbon, I'll see what you guys say. But I'm definitely using that one with the green burlap in it. So let me check right here. Nancy, Happy New Year, got there. Okay, Martha, have you used your pick machine yet? No, I have not, but yes, I got a pick machine for Christmas. So props to the husband for paying attention and watching my videos. Because I didn't tell him anything face to face, so he took the hint very well. So I know he's watching my videos eventually. So I have to say thanks for that. And thanks for all you guys on Christmas Day. Everyone was asking and checking in with me to see how it was. And then, so of course, as soon as I opened that box, I said, oh my God, give me my phone. I got to let everybody know. So yes, I got my pick machine. I haven't used it yet. I need to plan something out so I can make sure I have like an arrangement need or something like that. I don't want to use it on a grapevine wreath. I also need to look up some videos and stuff and check with other people, do a little bit of research to find out, what the norm is to use it. And then also, if it's something you should use with grapevine. I'm thinking I don't need it for my grapevine wreath just because I don't want those metal pieces poking through. I know if I have a piece of floral that's thinner or weaker, that's a good support system for it. So I'll have to take a look to see exactly what I want to do with it. But I haven't used it yet, but it's sitting right there and she's really pretty and I'm extremely happy for having it. So thanks for checking in on that. Emily, thank you very much. Love my work. Can't wait to see how this turns out. Happy New Year to you too. Brenda, Ficus. Yeah, the large one, this is Ficus. This is a Ficus branch right here. And Kimberly, happy 2018 to you too. Happy New Year. And Lori, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Happy New Year to you too, Carol. Oh, you used a whole roll of that window pane ribbon for this past fall. Yeah, I've got 2 rolls of that, and those are actually 2 years old that I bought at Hobby Lobby. But I know that they do carry it every year around fall time. So that's the staple. Like, grab that, even though it's seasonal, grab a few rolls. That way you'll have it on hand if you want to use it throughout the year. So that I haven't actually used in 2 years, but I got 2 rolls of it. Lori, do you have a paid group where you teach tips? No, Lori, I don't. I don't have a paid group or anything like that. I'm still trying to get up off the ground on my standing on 2 feet to just see how this goes. So for now, it's just you guys and me and Facebook and YouTube, and that's how I've been doing things. Work full time during the week, Monday through Friday. So that's why a lot of times, obviously today's New Year's Day, so I got the day off, but not yet. But that is something that 2018 might bring. More, one-on-one type feel. I might look into that, set up the actual business, make things official. So I'm a little excited to see what this year brings for Crafty Thoughts. And I'm glad you guys are here with me, so it'll be really fun. Andrea, Happy New Year to you too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get started. And I don't really have any rhyme or reason. I don't have a pattern I go by or a system. I just kind of start grabbing things and I'll place them in places. I do know that I want this ribbon to kind of start, I want this to be more towards the top of my wreath. I usually am habitually known for putting everything off to a left side. I love things at diagonals and I don't know why. I'm drawn to things placed diagonally. I like diagonals in architecture, in the house, in your kitchen. I love diagonals, don't know why. So everything I normally stick off on the top left or the top right of a wreath, but this one I want to try to make, it's probably going to go towards the left top, but I want to try to put it in the middle and have things come kind of off to the both sides. So we'll see how it turns out, because sometimes the majority of the time my plans, I don't stick to them, as apparently I don't even like my own rules. So what I want to do is put my bigger pieces of greenery in here, and I want to make sure I can get the ribbon to kind of flow throughout. So there are going to be a few places where I'm going to have to stick some more pipe cleaners to get some ribbon pieces in here. Because remember, this isn't evergreen. Evergreen's a lot easier to get ribbon to kind of flow throughout. Like if your bow is here and you want some loops going down to this side and this side, we're going to have greenery to help support it and hold it up. But I'm going to want to make sure that I can get these pipe cleaners in before I put the greenery in. So I'm only going to put a few pieces in first to make sure I've got placement of my bigger greens before I put the bow in here. And I still need to figure out that bow. And excuse me guys, my allergies are still messing with me. Let me check your thing. Happy New Year, Andrea. Yep. Connie, yes, I do have a YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. It's the same name, Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots. So if you have anything that you ever wanted to see on my Facebook Lives, I upload every Facebook Live there. And I've only made 2 videos specifically for YouTube. So you won't see them on my Facebook page, but there are links to them in other posts. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you guys subscribe, you'll get notifications. I am going to be doing more YouTube videos this year. I actually just went out to a camera store yesterday with my husband, and we bought a really good camera, you know, a decent camera, not, you know, bank breaking or anything, because YouTube has yet to be profitable for me. But well, in friendships, yes. In meeting you guys, it's very profitable. As far as currency is concerned, it's still a work in progress, but I got a really good camera, so I'll get some better detail. It's got a wider lens on it. So there are going to be a lot more detailed videos that you're going to see on my YouTube channel. And if you guys are watching YouTube right now, so you'll know, they're going to be a little bit more detailed. I'm going to do a pro bow video where you're going to see exactly just the view of the pro bow from my point of view, so you guys can take a look at that. But there are going to be some more stuff for just YouTube. And again, same name as my Facebook page, Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots. It's just my YouTube channel. Kimberly, a tour of my house. Oh, geez, right now. There are boxes everywhere. Christmas is still, basically the Christmas tornado has still taken effect in my living room. But yeah, excuse me guys, wiping my nose. Yeah, I could do a house tour. That'd be kind of fun after I put all the Christmas stuff away. But yeah, if you know, there's basically every door in my house has a wreath on it, and every room has something in it that I've made or more. But yeah, that's a pretty big compliment. Thank you for that, Andrea. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I'm watching you for the first time, and girl, I love your hair. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. I just got it cut right before Christmas, so the sides are a little bit shorter, and I'm kind of like, you know, it's that transition period where you get like just a little bit of growth after your haircut and it's perfect. I'm still waiting for that. So this is kind of short for me here. Says, I hope I don't look like a boy. But I like it. So thank you. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. All right. So, and if you guys still have any questions, just keep them going. I'll check back periodically throughout the project, and we'll stop and just answer some questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, just post your questions in the comments when I get my notifications. I'll answer them as soon as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting up the little greens. Kathy, let's start. Okay. Yeah, Kathy, I'm a talker. So be prepared, Kathy. That's just how it goes. A lot of people here really, really like the detail. They got lots of questions for me. And usually I subscribe to the group of, apparently when I start talking, I stop working. Unless I'm doing, unless it's like kind of like mundane work, like actual work, then I can still work and talk. I just don't really want to. That's how that goes. So I'm just going to start cutting off these bigger pieces, and then I'm just going to put them in. I'm not going to glue anything yet. I got a new glue gun too, guys. I got this on Amazon, so we'll see how this works out. My old guy right here, this AdTech one, I've been through so many of these at the stores. It's wireless, but I have always had it plugged in. So what was the point of having a wireless gun if I've always got it plugged in, right? So this guy's new off of Amazon, so we'll see how that goes, because that one stopped remaining hot while I was using it. And then of course my glue pot here, you guys can see that little mini glue skillet. I call it a glue pot. It's a glue skillet. So I'm just going to start clipping off various pieces. And I'm not going to use any of these long ones just yet. I might place those in a bit. But for now, I just want to use some of these little long pieces here with a little bit of weird green in it. I'm going to throw this back up here. These smaller pieces I'm not going to use till the end. The flower I'm not going to put in until I get my bow in there. So let's see how this goes. Just cutting off all of the ficus right here at the points where it meets the stem. I'm cutting things off right there, right here. And this is all prep work too. If your project, if you know you've got a time limit on your project, then you can go ahead and just cut up all your greens in the beginning. I don't necessarily have a plan right now, so I'm only going to cut a few. If you're only going to buy a few bushes, and maybe only put one bush of all the variegated in there, then you really don't have to cut various pieces off. You can just cut up one entire bush of the mixed greens, and then you should be fine. I do plan on putting almost all of this in the wreath, because I want the wreath to have a really good variety. You know, it's supposed to be your little low-key cool down from Christmas, so this will bring greenery and warmth to the door. Let's see, I'm just going to do 4 for now. These are 4 of the ferns, so I'm just going to pull off 4 for now. This one I'm going to wait on. These guys I'm going to wait on until after I got the ribbon done. Same thing with these guys, wait till I got the ribbon done. So for now, I'm just going to start out, and all I'm going to do here is make sure you guys have a good view. Put that down, that's as far as it'll go. Okay, so my idea is to place my bow here. And I'll probably put the flower to the left here because this flower is pretty big. So this is a really big flower. And I'll put the bow towards the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this longer guy going towards the top. I'm going to curl it a little bit. And right now I'm just placing things in the grapevine. I'm just kind of like, this is just like a preliminary to see if I like it. If you don't like your placement, because I haven't glued anything in yet, I'm not stuck with where it's at. So if you're confident in it and you like something, commit to it. Put that glue in there and then just keep going. I don't ever see an issue with that. With this one, because I don't have a plan, I'm just going to take a peek to see how I like things. And every once in a while there are issues, and every once in a while, if there are issues, I've taken things out and moved them, but it's not that it's been something where I've absolutely hated it. It's just been like 1 or 2 things. But normally, if I start to do something and I'm absolutely loving what's happening, I stick with it, commit to it, and everything is glued in permanently. So these 4 pieces, I'm just guesstimating. And see, look, you guys, I did the left side. I mean, you could hold the wreath. You could hold the wreath this way, you know, and make it so that your bow and everything is going at the top here. But I'm probably going to end up doing this with the bow right here and the flower right here. And this guy's really shedding. I grabbed one of these that has a bunch of leaves in it. Okay. First time watching, Carol Nelson. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Nancy Black, Happy New Year to you too. Oh, she's saying Happy New Year to everyone. I love that you guys are all like friends together. You guys know each other and everyone's like talking and things. I mean, I watch other Facebook Lives, but I haven't yet got to a community sense with anybody. I've noticed names and people are familiar to me. I just haven't been able to do that just yet. And also recently I've just been extremely busy with the holidays. Had a few days off from work since the holiday fell. Today's a Monday, so my company lets us out about 3 hours early on the Fridays before our holidays. So that always helps. I'm going to put these 4 guys in here. So I'm just going to put them in the, I'm getting glue at the end on the glue skillet. And I'm just going to push that down into the grapevine. These have a pretty good stem on them, a good thick wire in them. See that? And just place them down in the middle. So I don't really need to worry about the heat or anything. These guys are pretty thick and sturdy. I definitely like what I have up here with this placement, so I'm going to keep these the way they are. This one's really thick right here, so it shouldn't really need to be pushed in too much. But I also have a big gap right here in the grapevine. The grapevine itself, the natural way that grapevines are woven together, sometimes it lends a hand to you as far as giving you a space option of where you should put bigger stems, because that's just how thick it is. Otherwise, I've had to get pliers out, jam it in there, and open up the grapevine in order to get things in. But whatever you got to do to get things placed where you want it should never be, it's never a horrible thing. It's not a bad thing. Everything will be fine. So again, I don't really want things to stick out too far up and down. You know, I still want it somewhat circular. I mean, there's wreaths and things that you can, if you're specifically making it to be one of those little wild things, you know what I mean? The ones where you do have things kind of sticking up, down, left, right. Go for it. I'm not, this isn't one of the ones, that wasn't my intention with this one, so I want to try to keep things a little bit circular within the wreath itself. So this guy I'm just going to jam in down there like that. So right now all I'm doing is adding those 4 fern pieces. Now this guy's the smallest one, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to keep that, Whitney, when do you do transition to crafting spring? I haven't done it yet. I don't know. I can start making things. Now remember, I got those signs this past Christmas, those wooden signs from the Woodland Crew. So I'm a little excited to get to using those. And I also have some metal signs that I got from Jane's, I think it's Jane's Front Door. I got some Easter ones there from her that are really super, super, super cute. But I haven't actually transitioned to spring at all yet. This was just my first idea from winter. Now remember guys, this is my first year doing anything like full-fledged, you could say, professional. I want to start this into a business, so I'm sure that there are specific time frames of the year that you should do that. I know that my Christmas stuff got started late comparative to retail businesses or other businesses, but I wanted to do Christmas with you guys. I didn't want to do it in October or January, I didn't want to do it in August or September. I wanted to do Christmas and things like that. So that's why I stuck to Halloween in October and fall in November. I know the format for this year might change a little bit, especially because I want to do things a little bit differently, but I'm not sure just yet, Brenda, when I'm going to transition to spring. I know I am going to be doing Valentine's Day next. And then St. Patty's Day is not really all that big. I bought some supplies. You guys saw me open my supply order. I did buy some supplies for St. Patty's Day and the other, but it's going to depend on, I guess, demand. I'm only going to make one item just because I have to store all this stuff. And let me tell you, I have a lot of room on my walls now. I donated a lot of stuff to a church this year to give to the families and food banks. A lot of my old pieces that I had, oh geez, I'm talking about probably 8 years now. I just wanted to clear things out, start fresh, and the best thing I could think of was to just donate them to a church. I didn't want to give them to Goodwill. I wanted them to go to people who would not normally even be able to think about decor. So there was a food bank. There's a church that my sister and my mom go to, and they have a food bank, and they wanted to give those pieces out to the families that came in for the holidays. So it made me feel really good. And now I have a lot more wall space in here so I can start hanging things, but I only really want to make one St. Patty's Day type themed guy, just because I don't know what the demand is for that yet. I mean, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. You guys probably know that. And growing up here, I've lived here my whole life. Growing up here, St. Patty's Day is pretty big down, in the casinos because everybody drinks green beer. That's about all I can remember. I don't know that it's bigger. Happy New Year to you too, Anne and Margaret from the UK. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. Susan also. And Lorraine, nice to have after holidays designs to put up. Yes, I agree. And that was what this is about. I wanted something lush and green that still brings you the warmth. Now, I know a lot of you guys where you're at, you don't have the greenery because you're covered in snow. But maybe this is also a good way to kind of freshen things up or to lift your spirits if you're tired of looking at all the snow and you've got a lot of snow ahead of you still, this is probably just a good way to kind of warm things up or you know, freshen things and make it seem nicer. I know when I come home and I look at my wreath once I come in the door, it makes me happy. I mean, I could have been in traffic for 10 hours, which I never am, but traffic for 20 minutes here is just as bad. So, could have been in traffic for 10 hours, and then I come home and I open my garage door, I walk in, and the first thing I see off to my right is my pantry door. And in my pantry, my kitchen, I always have some sort of seasonal wreath on there. So every time I see that, because that's where I come in, that's where I put the ones that I know I'm going to really need help making me happy. And this stuff makes me happy, whether I bought it or I made it or someone else has helped me out, something like that. That's usually where I put my big ones that I know I really want to have an impact when I come through the door. Because this stuff really will make you happy. I mean, that's where I come from. I'm of the florals and greens and ribbons, decorative pieces, arrangements. I like to see them. They make me happy. They warm up your space. And especially with wreaths, they make me extremely happy too. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put the flower in first now, guys. I'll show you. This is just what I did so far with the green. So I just made down here to the left and down here to the right. All I did was just place these things in, both going down this way. Now there are other wreath patterns when you're making wreaths where you kind of want to stick to a counterclockwise or a clockwise type theme or pattern. But on this wreath, we're not covering the whole wreath. I'm leaving this portion down here open so you can still see the grapevine on it. So for this one, what I want to do is place things going one way up past the ribbon and bow and this way down past the ribbon and bow. So, I'm sorry, flower and ribbon, or the flower and bow. So I've made a cascading type feel down this way and this way. And all I used so far was the variegated bush that I clipped off a few pieces, the fern pieces, and a couple of the ficus pieces. So that's all I've pushed in here. And that alone is fine. And if that's all the greenery you have, then keep at it and it'll be gorgeous regardless. I'm going to add more just because I had way too much and I refuse to allow myself to purchase more until I use what I have, because I will continue to buy flowers and greens and ribbons whether I have a project or not. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this guy to the just right here on the left of my wreath. I'm going to place him off to this side here, and I think this light white, this isn't stark white. This is like a cream, almost a cream white, but it has almost like a yellow tint to the inside of the petals. I'm not sure if that's coming up with the lights. But when you look at this guy from, it has a little bit of yellow in there, almost, that when I place that in here with the green, it's really complementing. It's really complementing to the greenery. So I'm just going to kind of jab this in on one side or the other just to see how far down I need to place it, just to get it in there. And then from there I'll take a look to see where I need to glue it and how I'm going to place the bow. But see, I'm actually now thinking that this is too much space. So once I put my bow here, I'm going to be filling this piece in here with more greens. So I made the space as big as I needed it to be because I don't want more than this showing. So I can still add more pieces here in the middle because you're going to want to cover up anything that might show through on the bottoms or the sides where you have it hanging. So like if it's on the wall, you're going to see all this. I'm going to probably add some pieces of extra pieces in there on that side. So it's really just placing the greenery in, filling things in how you feel you want them to get full. So this stem is actually really big. If you see here, it's stuck through really far. So I'm going to take it out and I'm going to cut it shorter. Take a peek at what you guys are saying here. Ooh. Thank you for sharing, Nancy. I appreciate that. That really helps out. See, that's how short I cut that guy. So that's what? That's about a little bit over an inch. I cut that off more. Hi from Puerto Rico, Astrid. Thank you for joining me. It's so nice. Oh, Brenda, you got to get back to work. Watch you later. Happy New Year, girlie. You too. God bless. Thank you. Yep, I'll have it. You can watch it later on Facebook or YouTube, whichever you guys like. I'll make sure I keep them up. I'm not going to remove them. Oh. Nancy, 25 below last night, 45 minus 45 wind chill. Yeah, I'd say I'd say I don't have anything to complain about. It was a little windy, you know, here in Vegas, but I don't believe that no, it wasn't that cold. It wasn't that cold, but we definitely got our heat on in the house, but geez. Yeah, so you're about to stay, yeah, Nancy, you're gonna have snow for a while, right? That transition isn't gonna be for a while, so let me see here. Now this is what I was saying earlier, when you can't get your stem into your grapevine, you kind of have to argue with it a little bit. So I'm just gonna argue with this girl and see if I can't get it in, I'm gonna have to place maybe my scissors. To me, this is kind of like trying to get a key on a key ring. So I'm just going to shove this down into it and turn it so I can kind of open up the grapevine a little bit. I mean, you're not going to do anything to it. It's not going to break or anything like that. So just trying to make an open space. Check that out. That worked. So again, I'll show you guys on a different spot. Take my scissors and I'm going to place it in between these two pieces here. And then I'm going to turn it. And it opens it just wide enough. You see that? So here's that. Stick your scissors in between the place where you want to place your floral item. Stick them down in there and twist it. Opens it just enough. I don't know if you can even see that, guys, on camera. So there they are together. Opens it up. It's kind of like I mentioned before, it's like a key ring. I use scissors all the time, or a knife, butter knife, spoon handle, whatever you need to get in between that metal key ring to get those keys on. And that's also a necessity just because I have fingernails. I mean, I do that because I like my nails, but then half the time they get in your way, right? Marianne, Laney, thank you. Thank you guys. I see the hearts and the thumbs up. I thank you so much. Hi from Oregon, Dawn. Nice to see you. Love the wreath so far. Thanks. Diane, you lived where you are for 17 years. Have had snow just once. Had to take my son to Lapland to see snow for the first time. Yeah, we had to go out when I saw snow, but I have very limited snow experience. It will snow here in Vegas up at the state park, Mount Charleston. It'll snow up there. And eventually, every once in a while, it will require snow tires and other terminology that I am not familiar with that has to deal with snow. But I haven't been up there during the snow for I don't know how long. So the last time we tried to go up there, there's a lodge up there that we'll get like hot chocolate at, and they have a restaurant. Their power was out. So we drove up there and then we couldn't get inside. So all I did was just marvel at icicles, since I haven't seen those in real life as an adult. And then I realized that I shouldn't stand underneath them because they probably could kill me. But they were pretty awesome to see. So it's like those things that I've never seen, I've never experienced, kind of are exciting, that I know you guys probably couldn't care less about, or you're worried like, they're not exciting, Whitney. So it's like, okay. Icicles were pretty awesome. I don't see icicles down here at my house, actually. You guys, I got a really good fit on the stem of that into the grapevine, so I can't pull it back out. So what I'm doing is I'm using my glue gun, and I'm just pulling things back, and I'm shooting the glue right where the edge is. I'm using gravity. The gravity is actually the glue's falling down onto it where I want it to go. So I'll show you guys in a second. And I put a decent amount of glue, and this glue gun's working really good. And that's only at 60 watts. So I'm a little happy with that purchase. It wasn't expensive. I think this is like $20-some on Amazon. I think this guy was about $19.99 too, but I've been through 3 of these in the last year. So we'll see how long that one lasts. But I think the glue came, okay, it came through a little bit behind the back of it. Let me get this to, okay, come on. Just trying to get this to kind of cool off so I can pull that string off. There we go. And that's what your cutting mat is for, guys. Just wait for the glue to get tacky and then pull that off. I'll clean my nails off later. So it did kind of pull through, but that's fine because I know that my glue has actually came through and it's touched a lot of pieces I want it to. So let me see if I can get this in to show you guys. If you can see the glue down in there, I've got a really good fit where I've stuck this between the grapevine here and where my glue is here. I just want you guys to see. So if you can't glue the stem before you place it in, if you can see there's glue right here, just move your piece back and then use your glue gun to use gravity and let that glue. I mean, this guy's not coming out now. I can hold the whole wreath by it. So that's part of construction. What do you call that? Construction stuff you're not really prepared for, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, guys. It's just one of those things. So I know for sure I definitely want to keep the presents fairly large, but I don't want my bow to overpower my flower. So I am going to need to put more greenery. Oh, guaranteed more greenery. There's definitely not even enough on here. So what I'll do is I am going to make my bow now, and I'm going to get my bow on there, and then the rest of it will just be filling things in. So I'm hoping that this one, you know, guys, I'm just going to use this ribbon. I don't want to place, I would probably use this 1.5 inch canvas ribbon to complement it, but I'm thinking I just want to use the one ribbon. It's got a very pretty green accent to it. So it's a burlap ribbon, but the vertical weaving in it is a, I want to say almost a moss or a leafy green color, and it's going to complement this very well, especially right here next to this flower when I'm looking at it together. I'm just going to use the one ribbon. And for some reason, if I don't like it, remember I've got those little, I've showed you guys before, if you've seen it on other videos, there's little hacks on how to add things. If you've already made the bow and the bow's not turning out, you can always add pieces to it later and kind of get it to look like it was part of the bow. It was meant to be there. So I'm grabbing a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner, whatever you decide that you need to call it. Alright guys, I'm habitually like organized and a clean person. Sometimes that's my own demise. I'm going to dovetail it, but I don't know if this is going to fray. So we'll just dovetail one end and see what happens to it while I'm making the bow. So I just cut, I don't know if you can even see, I cut a little V into it known as dovetail. If you're not familiar with that, you fold it in half, then you cut from the folded edge diagonally upward towards the wire. That's how you do a dovetail. So there's how you get that done if you're not familiar with it. So let's see. Olive Lynn, Happy New Year from the heart. Thank you, all of you too. Happy New Year to you too, guys. This year's going to be really great. New here from Seattle. Jessica, thank you so much for joining. Hi from Oregon, Dawn. Love the wreath so far. Perfect, thank you. Hi from Illinois, Mary. I think I got that already. Nancy, you had snow flurries this morning. I wish I could see that. I really do. I know everyone says you don't want to be in snow, but come on, guys. You have to experience it once, right? I need to at least see it and experience it once, and then I'll come back and tell you guys you were right. That's just how it goes, right? So it's like, oh, wait, I think it's pretty. It looks like everything is coated in sugar. And then when I'm saying that to people who have lived in snow, their faces are like, and it's like, well, it looks like everything's covered in sugar, and it looks so beautiful. And they're like, no. So what I need to do is I need to experience it, and then I'll come back and tell everybody you were right. That's just how it is, right? I don't know if that's a female thing or a stubborn thing or what, but I just need to go be in some snow and see how it's like. I mean, again, obviously it's different as a child than as an adult, since you have, the whole driving in the snow thing. But hi, Ruth from South Carolina. Thanks for joining me. And Kathy, Happy New Year to you too from Colorado. Thanks for joining. Freezing cold Wisconsin, Deborah. Happy New Year to you too. So me talking about snow probably is not exactly like, okay, yeah, she's got a few screws loose. So if you guys, this is your first time joining me, you don't know, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I was born and raised here, so I haven't really lived in snow, haven't seen it on a day-to-day basis in the middle of my, streets, or, I've been up to the mountains, but that doesn't count. So yeah, I needed to experience some snow, and I'm sure you guys would love to give it away, right? Like, don't ask for things you don't, I know, guys. I'm sorry. I still think it's pretty. Happy New Year from Lee in Frozen. What is that? Maples? Hi from East Tennessee. Thank you, Jennifer. Sarah Lee, Happy New Year from London. Thank you, Sarah. You too. Oh, Jeanette, you cut your mesh with a heat gun? How do you do that? What kind of a heat gun? Is it just like the kind you use for like embossing? That's kind of cool. Yeah, Connie, I agree. It is fun to see how far everybody's coming from. It's kind of cool because, I mean, how else would we ever get to know this many people from this many different places? It's kind of awesome. You guys, I did a standard pinch bow where you grab it, you pinch it, you gather it, you pinch. So you've got a lot of loops. I didn't really count when I was talking because, you know, I was talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 loops. I'm going to make one more just to make it an even 8 loops. And again, this isn't double-sided ribbon, so I'm just grabbing it and pinching it. And there's no need to twist. Some of them I twisted. I was probably because I was talking. I don't know if I twisted or not. I don't see it being that big of a deal, though, right? So I'm just going to guess and kind of cut this one here. And I'm going to wrap my chenille stem pipe cleaner right around the middle where I've been holding it. Pull that through. And then twist these together as tight. I do one twist here, and then I grab my fingers and I pull it as tight as I can possibly get it. So I'm using my thumb. If you see here, I use my thumb to push inward. And I have the pipe cleaner in this finger, and then I have the pipe cleaner in this hand. And I'm pulling and pushing, if that makes sense, so I can get the middle of the bow cinched as tight as I possibly can. That way, it's a tight piece. It's coming from one center piece where I like the bow to look like it's exploding out. And it's easier to do it with this type because I haven't used multiple ribbons. I've only used the one ribbon, so it's easier to do it this way. You guys have normally seen me using multiple ribbons in bows. This one's way easier. So now that I got that really tight, I'm just going to keep twisting back here. And then as you twist, if you pull the bow, you can twist, the wire will twist inward towards the bow. Make things a little bit more secure, make things a little bit tighter on the bow, the back of the bow. Judy from Frozen Niagara Falls, New York, thank you for joining me. Oh, Connie, you were from Lockport, and now you live in Florida. So you kind of left the snow, huh? Hi from South Carolina. Myrtle Beach, Jeanette, thanks. And Melissa, Happy New Year's from Weldon Springs, Missouri, where it's 2 degrees. Okay, yeah, again, talking about snow. Sorry, I apologize for what you're going through. So this wreath is also a very good alternative if all you're staring at is snow in your yard and outside and the windows and all you see is snow. And again, guys, I was talking, so I twisted this way too many times because I don't want all that sticking through the wreath. I need to untwist this pipe cleaner just a little bit. There we go. And then, remember I'd mentioned before, I want this ribbon to kind of flow throughout. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut, I'm not going to cut it yet, but I'm just going to pull a long piece off here. I'm going to take this bow and I'm going to place it off to the side. I'm going to show you guys my idea. I've done this many times on Evergreens, but I haven't done it on Grapevine. So I'm hoping that this turns out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another pipe cleaner, except for I'm going to get dark brown. Excuse me one moment, I got to stretch over here. I had dark brown. I need a dark brown pipe cleaner because I don't want it to show too much on the back. I don't want to put a lot of green or leaves on the back of this to cover it because I don't want it to show through. So hold on one second, guys. I got to walk to the other side of my table to get a brown pipe cleaner. Okay. Didn't know I was going to need it, and I pushed it way too far out of my reach. So these are just pipe cleaners I've cut in half. So these will be fine because all I'm doing is I'm going to secure the ribbon in one spot, and I'll show you guys. This is going to be my first attempt on a grapevine doing this. So we'll see. Let's see how it works out together. So let's dovetail the end. And again, we'll see how that lasts. It might fray, it might not. It's a burlap type guy. It's not, I don't think it'll be horrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this edge. And I'm going to place my ribbon where I know I want it to end. So if you guys can see here, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cinch it down here and attach it into the grapevine here, right? So now I have this ending piece coming out here. So let me show you. Let me get that chenille stem. I'm going to kind of fold it in half. Remember, this is a long stem cut in half, and then I'm bending that half into another half. So here is where I need to get my pipe cleaner in between this side. Okay, I got that all the way through. I'm going to take my ribbon right where I pinched it, place it in there, and then put the pipe cleaner around the other side here. And just try to feed it through. This is kind of the little bit of hunting for things, and I can see it, but I can't grab it, so I'm getting my pliers out, and I'm going to grab that piece and pull it through here. So I can show you here. And again, leave it connected, don't cut it, because we're only just going to use one piece. If you have like extra remnants, then just go for it. This is just going to keep us from having to cut and use more pipe cleaner. So if you see here, I have the pipe cleaner holding the ribbon on and through, and then through the back, all I'm doing is just twisting it. Pipe cleaner shows on the front for now, but don't worry about it because we're going to add more greens and we're going to cover that, and you won't be able to see the pipe cleaner from the front. And then since I've used a brown color on the back, it's not going to show to the point where, you know, it's going to look horrible. If it still doesn't look good to you and you want to cover it, throw some leaves. There's really big leaves on that hydrangea that I still left on the stem, and I'll use those, and you can glue that right to the back of your project when you're done, and it covers up, you know, the behind the scenes, I like to call it. Also keeps it from scratching your door if you were to use floral wire instead of pipe cleaner. So here's my little cinched piece now, right? So that's what I'm going to continue to do. So there's the one piece that we started here at the bottom. So the idea is to take your next, however big you want to make your next loop, and kind of gather that, pinch it, and secure it again within the greenery on the wreath. So it's going to give the effect that when we place our bow, I'm going to place my bow over here, that it's lending the effect that the ribbon is flowing throughout the wreath, and maybe it grew within the greenery, and it wasn't natural, but we want it to look like maybe it was natural. That, you know, the pieces just kind of all flowed together. And again, we only placed some of the greenery in here preliminarily just to get an idea, but we are going to be adding much more to it to cover up whatever pieces of pipe cleaner you don't want showing, and then also to make it really full and pretty. So feed that guy through there. I see him here. And I got glue right here, so that's not going to work on this side. So again, it's just like a little I wouldn't say hunt and peck, but hunt around and look for where you want to place it. And then of course this, the pipe cleaner wire is not a strong wire, so a lot of times it won't stand up to, I saw it for a minute, it won't stand up to pushing it through a lot of the thicker, harder, heavier pieces. You see, that's just bending and it's going off to the side. So, where's my little tool? Here are metal pieces. Remember I showed you guys before when you're cutting a long stem, and this came off of a pick that had a lot of greenery on it from Hobby Lobby, and they had it all threaded on, and then all the greenery was up here. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is a really thick wire. This is a really thick, good sturdy tool. So I cleaned it off after I used all the greenery, and right now I'm going to use it to make my hole a little bit bigger on this wreath. And so I'm using it now as a guide to get my pipe cleaner through. Careful, don't poke your eye out, right? This is some of the stuff that's like, really, we don't plan for it, but it happens. So finally, I got it through on the back. I've got my 2 pieces here, so I'm going to continue to have it. Oh, Cindy Lou from West Virginia, first time viewing. Thank you so much, and you shared. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Georgia is my second home, and you love it there. That's nice. Thank you, Margaret. That's good. Dawn, you love the wreath. Okay. Love your setup. Looks very nice. First time watching. Oh, Dawn, thank you also. Appreciate it for you guys joining me. Right, just twisted, and tucked it in. You guys see here? All I do is twist, and then I tuck it back into the wreath. It doesn't necessarily need to be wrapped around. I used to do that, but it took too much time. I just wrap it, twist it, and tuck it right back into the wreath. And if you need to, you can always shoot some glue in there. I'm gonna pull this a little bit now, make this a little bit bigger. I mean, I made a pretty good, there we go. Made a pretty decent tightness on that, on the back of that there, but what I'm going to do here now is, this isn't going to look like one solid bow and then like just ribbon coming off from each side. I'm going to add to it to make it look like a little bit more. So my next piece I plan on doing is, instead of just only grabbing one pinch and placing it down, I'm going to start to make maybe a 2 or 3 loop bow, but it's going to be smaller in order to complement the side. So it'll look like your bow starts here by your flower, and then it kind of gradually goes down and tapers down into just a few streamer. So what I'm doing is, instead of just pinching it and placing it on the wreath, I'm going to pinch it, make a loop, pinch it there, make a loop. Now I'm not measuring my loops either, guys. I just really am going with what it feels like. You know, it's whatever looks good for you, whatever makes you happy is my favorite way to put it. It's whatever makes you happy, right? So I'm pinching, I'm gonna make another loop. I made that one a little bit shorter. Pinch it, put another loop. So now if you see here, here's the piece that's coming off from the previous loop we made, or little gathering. So then I made 2 loops out of this, still leaving this piece connected. And now I'm going to place that right here into the wreath the same way we did the smaller little pieces. Might actually be easier now, since I made a loop, to actually just put this around and twist it once. Because fighting with that grapevine for just a little, I wouldn't say, let's not say fighting. Little small spat arguing with it for a little bit, just to get your pipe cleaner through. You don't want to lose your loops. Not hard to find if you do. You'll notice it's not bad in order to get them back in, but there we go. We use this tool a lot. Apparently, this wreath has got a lot of leaves in it. And normally I pick out the ones that don't, but this is going to lend a little bit more support in the area of, you know, I got more stuff, I have more canvas, you could say. This is our canvas. I have more surface area to glue to. So there's more stuff stuck in here, and it gives you better, I guess the words I'm looking for is, it gives you more stuff to glue to. Your pieces that you're putting in have more options to adhere to things as you're gluing them on. So I guess having all these extra little leaves in here is not a bad thing. So this got a little bit shorter just because it's thicker. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to twist it real tight with my fingers. And it's not going. So I may have to use my pliers in a minute. Hold on, guys. Sorry. There we go. Okay. I got it. I didn't need pliers. It's just kind of short. So I'm just going to keep twisting. Now that guy is not going to come loose at all. And I'm going to twirl that and tuck that back in with my pliers back here. So you can see again. There's the pliers. And then on the front, this is what we've got so far. So I've got one loop, one loop. This loop is bigger, but I'm going to be placing a lot of goodies in here. Here's your double loop. I'm going to have this go across the back here. And I'm going to place a loop here because I'm going to put this bow right in here next to the flower. So you're going to have an explosion of ribbon coming out here. I've got my two tails coming out like this way. But we're going to be putting greenery in all this. We're going to fill all this in with greenery. And actually what I can do is I can take the bow that I've already made and use it to help me pinch in this piece here. And I'll just tie that into this bow here. Annie, thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, Annie Cordell, you're in Vegas too. Nice. Second time watching, love your style. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. Nice to have another local here with me. So you can help me back me up for everybody on here today. It's cold, right? It's cold here, you guys. I mean, granted, we don't have snow, but it's cold. I have friends that are from Ohio. I have friends from Chicago. Friends that currently live in Washington. And every time I try to, I guess, complain a little bit about the wind or the coldness, yeah, I get no sympathy. And the ones that live here say, yeah, Whitney, there's a reason why we moved here. All right, so I'm going to just pull this guy. I got a little bit of slack in it, so I'm going to pull this guy, make it a little bit bigger. But I've basically used the pipe cleaner that I used to make the bow to hold in this actual loop here instead of using another pipe cleaner to loop it and then put the bow on it. I just used the bow as my pipe cleaner since it already had one on it. So it's, you know, little tiny things here. Again, pipe cleaners are fairly inexpensive, but if you've got a project where you need, you know, you only bought 20 and you still need to keep them all, I like to try to reuse or find a cheaper route. This wreath right here might be a little pricey just because of some of these greens I bought at full price. Or honestly, I can't remember how much I paid for a couple of them. But I've also had them for so long that cost isn't really a factor just because I haven't apparently paid attention to it because I had it sitting in my stash for so long. So at this point, it's absorbed, right? The cost should be absorbed. So I'm going to continue on. Now on this side, because I have my bow, because I have my flower, here, let me show you guys. That's what we have so far. We're going to be filling a lot more in with greens. So I've got my flower, my bow. Here's the extra loops we're making, right? We made all these, this double one, put the bow in. So now I'm going to continue this loop because I was just doing one continuous piece. I guess technically I really don't have to. I can cut this off and make another tail. I think I'm going to do that, you guys. So I'm going to cut this off and make a tail, and then I'll show you. Just because I have two tails here, but I've got a lot more going on. So I'm going to add this third one just to make it a third tail, ribbon tail. And then you guys will see. Might be a little long, but if it's too long when we're done, we can cut that and make it shorter. So on this side, what I'm going to do is just take my ribbon and start a new tail, right? So here's basically what we have so far. Nothing says you don't have to put a tail on this side, but I'm going to put a short one, just one little couple loop thing just here. I'm not going to do it like a half bow. I'm just going to put a one here just to kind of even it out. Because this side's going to have a lot more greenery on it. It's going to have a lot more going on. The party's going to be a little bit bigger on that side. And the little grape leaves in here are kind of sticking to all of this, but that's something you can vacuum that out later. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just gathering the top piece of my ribbon here. So we're going to use this as the starting point. Marquita. Thank you for joining me, Marquita. It's going to be a beautiful wreath. Thank you so much. And yes, we're pretty grateful for our weather here. I am grateful. I'm definitely not saying I want to live somewhere else. I just really think that I need to experience snow. I don't know if I want to live in it. I just think it's pretty, and I need to go out and play in it for a little bit and then realize just how damn cold it is. Now, it snowed here back in 2008, shut down all the streets. Nobody here knew how to drive in it, although you would think so because most people who live here came from the snow, but people left their cars in the road. I remember that. I lived in an area and I worked in an area where I wasn't affected by it. I just got to go home and play in it. And trust me, I have lots of pictures. I have all kinds of, lots of pictures. I scrapbooked it, you guys. I scrapbooked the snow in Vegas of 2008 because that's how exciting it was for me. And then again, yes, I called my friends and they really said, you know, Winnie, we really couldn't care less. We moved to get away from this and now our cars are stuck on the highway. I see this tail here. I'm going to cut this. I didn't cut it before. This is one of the ones Let's cut a dovetail into that guy real quick. So here's our new starting point, guys. So now this is still connected to my spool, if you see here. All I did was gather the top of it and I wrapped a not zip tie, which you could use, you could use zip ties if you have it. Pipe cleaner on the top. So I'm going to feed this in right in here underneath the flower, sort of, but just right around these greens. It's just going to make it look like it's coming up out of the greenery and out of the flower. And again, if any of this shows, in fact, I'm tempted to put some glue on this just to make sure that it doesn't come out from the pipe cleaner if it gets tugged on. Some of the other stuff has a little bit more leeway, has a little bit of play. I tightened those pipe cleaners pretty tight, so it shouldn't, like if I'm tugging on this right here, it's not coming loose. But this one up here and this one up here, there's a little bit of play in it. This guy, I don't want there to be any play in it. So all I did was, I just put some glue. You see that there? I put glue on top of the pipe cleaner, so that's not going to go anywhere. You won't be able to pull that out if for some reason by accident you start tugging on it. You know, like after, if you put this in storage, hang it on the wall in the garage, or it gets a little smushed and you need to fluff your bow, you might tug on it a little bit too hard and it comes out. It's just one of those things where I want to make absolutely sure that it's secure. So I'm just going to pick a point underneath my bow and within the greenery to make sure that it's going to look like the piece is coming out of it. Same thing applies as before. If you can't get it to feed through, actually, never mind. That worked out really well. That one, it was just very agreeable. Nothing perfect. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Actually, I'm going to move it. It's not far enough in. I want it to, I guess I'm going to go more underneath the flower. Because right there for the greenery, it wasn't enough. So I'm going to go further in under the flower. And I'll show you guys in a sec what I'm trying to accomplish with that. Just that little extra tiny details. Takes a little bit more, just a little bit more effort, a little bit more work. And apparently that glue is still tacky. And let's see where our pipe, that one worked out good too. I didn't have to use the other tool, but I am going to have to use my pliers. And that's just to grab the piece I can't get to. There we go. Alright, so this is a little short, but I'm going to take it and twisting it back here. So, I mean, if you use a full-size pipe cleaner, I didn't have any brown full-size ones left. The brown that I have left, I apparently have cut in half. And I have one more over there, so I'm going to have to go run and grab that, you guys. I didn't grab them all. I mean, worst case scenario, I can grab one of my other colors. It's not horrible. I'm just trying to prevent from having to put more greenery on the back of this. Okay, so that guy's twisted in. And then this is the time where if you want to tug on things as you're making it, I like to do that. You want to make sure things don't come apart. So now I can hold up this whole wreath by this. It's not going anywhere. Because if you're making this, again, if you're making it as a gift, if you're selling it as a, as a business and you're selling it to a customer, you don't want it to fall apart. So you want things to fail on you now while you're making it so you can fix it. Because also it's upsetting if you go and you sell this and you're excited about your sale and then you go to place it in the box to get it shipped out and then you grab something that falls apart. You're like, oh no, now I have to go back and fix it. And then it makes you, I haven't had that happen, but I would imagine that should that happen, then I'm upset and I'm all stressed out that the rest of the wreath is going to fall apart. So for me, it's just easier to make sure things are solid and secure while you're making it. That way you don't have to worry about it later. So now what we did was, since it was going underneath the flower in here, if you guys can see underneath there, I tucked that guy right in underneath the flower. So it's secured in the back, tucked under the flower. So now you get the effect that your bow carries on the other side. But I didn't have to keep, this piece here connected. So remember, I cut this tail off. So now I have this tail, and this tail. And now this piece is new construction, new start. You can start out from here. So I'm just going to do one little tuck, or one little loop, I guess you could say. And I'm going to push that down right in through here, and that's all I'm doing on this side. And then there'll be more ribbon on your right. So apparently, you guys, I did do a diagonal thing again, but what can I say? I like what I like. 1 second, I'm going to grab another pipe cleaner. Let's see. Hello, ladies. Donna says, Happy New Year. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Denise, you live in Denmark, Wisconsin. It hit -10, and the wind chill is -20. Oh, my gosh. Okay, guys. I mean, I'm really... I feel so bad for you. Oh, I can't complain. It's like the lows here, what, 30? The low we got barely under freezing, so like, what, 30-something? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... So bad. I'm laughing because I'm sorry. It's not because I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing because I'm sorry about how dang cold it is. Oh my gosh. Nancy, yes, I got my pick machine for Christmas, and it's sitting right over there, and I'm going to be using it very soon. I got to do some research, and then I'll probably do a video on it just to mess around with it and see what you guys think. That kind of good stuff. So I got my other 2 pieces of brown... oh my gosh. Pipe cleaner. Jeez. Got a little distracted. But yes, Nancy, I got my pick machine. Thank you. Dorothy, high of 28 here in upstate South Carolina. Snow flurries this morning. It's cold for you. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Snow flurries. We don't get flurries in Vegas unless there's something wrong. Or, we think the apocalypse is happening, right? Okay, guys. This is my last one. We started under here. I'm pinching it where I want my loop to be. So this is how big my loop is going to be. So I guesstimate, take a look, that's where I want it. Put my pipe cleaner around it, and let's go for gold and see if this one just goes through nicely. Okay, I got 1 and 2. All right. So those last couple went really well. And you can tell here on the front, once you pull that through, you'll get the, the cinch that you want, so you can see how it looks like it's, what are those called? It's not an undulation. Guys, words. You can see here on the front how big your loop is and how big it's going to be. And if you don't like it, you haven't twisted it yet, pull it up a little bit, you got a little leeway. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to twist and twist. Get it nice and tight. Let's see, Nicole, hello, how are you? Thanks for joining. Letty, you haven't attempted a grapevine wreath. Hopefully I'll try to do one soon. Love the way it looks. Yeah, Letty, they're really easy. If you've done evergreen, it's, it seems like, I agree that evergreen has more give, and you have a lot more room to hide things, a lot more room to pull things through, but it's the exact same premise as an evergreen. It's just a little like sticky. Yeah. As in it sticks, not as in like sticky, like glue. Oh, sorry guys. Sometimes I'm self-entertained. It's not a bad thing, right? No matter what, I can at least make myself laugh. Okay. All right, that worked out. So that's the last of that. And now I'm just going to cut it, and I'll hold that up and show you guys. So all we're going to do now is fill it in with greens. So you don't have to worry about extra little pieces here, color this, that, the other. We just did a bunch of greens, so now I've got the meat and potatoes of exactly what I want to get done. And I think I hear the TV out in the living room. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sounds like a weather alert. We'll find out what happens later. Alright guys, so that's the end of that. Just one spool of ribbon. Got it at Paper Mart. Burlap with green in it. Very pretty. And I'm not going to put any other ribbon in here. I like the way this looks. So far, this is what we're working with. Let me hold this right here just like this. We got one piece coming off this way, which adds just enough from the bow, because most of the bow is here, regular bow, and then all these pieces we added here. So now all I'm going to do is start to fill in greenery in these blank spots and then within the middle of the bow. Because you guys know that I cannot leave the bow alone. I absolutely have to put extra pieces in and around the bow. I like it to look like the bow was part of the piece when it was growing in its natural areas, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for? That's just how I like to do it. So I cut off 4 before. I'm cutting off another 3 little ferns. I still have some more ficus extra pieces here. And I still have more than half of my stem left. I'll cut off of that. But what I'm going for here are these little extra pieces on this guy. So cut off anything that you think will lend enough surface area. Like if you want really big fat leaves because you want it to be fuller, cut those off and place those in. I'm not going to use these really long ones here. You see these long ones? I don't want it to, I don't have that much space. I don't need it to drape off, and I don't want it to stick up and out. So these guys I'm not going to use. But the rest of this stuff on here, I am definitely going to cut off and use these guys. And then these little stick ones, they've got some berries on them. Kind of cute. I might incorporate those in as well. So definitely need this piece. And that has the price tag on it, so I got to remember to cut that off. And I'm going to cut this piece off too because I like the little twig type spindly look. I'm gonna cut this into more pieces as well, but it's one piece. I cut it off of the bush. So the only thing left on this bush are the really long pieces, so I'm done with this. I'm just going to throw that off to the side. And then I need to fill in my bigger holes with the bigger leaves, and then we'll get to the little tiny small ones in a sec. So what I want to do is try to get some of this stuff. Let's find it a home as far as committing to placement. This guy's my biggest, or my puffiest piece here, and I have a really big hole right here. So I'm gonna see how it looks right here. It covers up a lot of the bow there. So what I'm gonna do is possibly just place it back under here. This is gonna be, the rest of this is just gonna be finding stuff that fills in the gaps the way you like it to. And see, that looks really nice. So I'm going to commit, and I'm going to place that there. As soon as you find a space that you like something in, glue it. So I'm going to place my piece down here in my glue skillet, get a decent amount of glue on it, and then put that right back where I had it. So all I'm doing is filling in these spaces with greenery and making them, just making sure they complement each other in all the right ways. So I'm going to take that and kind of bend it. Now, these come off of the bush, they're really straight. So I'm going to put a little bit of bend in it. I've seen Nick Criticos from Nick Seasonal Decor. He does this a lot. He loves ferns and ficus. So there's, and he should, because they are really good, and they're really good filler for greenery filler if you ever needed it. Let's see. Makes a huge difference when you add things into the bows. Perfect, Donna. Thank you. I agree. Thank you. Where do you get your greens? Jessica, all of these, I'd say a few, most of them came from Hobby Lobby. The flower came from Pier 1. This was a splurge for me a while back. Hobby Lobby. This guy, this one bush is JoAnn's, and I have one little bush that's Michael's. So It was like a collaboration of all of them. I also already had majority of them in my stash. I didn't go out and buy anything new to put in this wreath. I had a lot of stuff left over from other projects. So, I mean, that's why I like to say it's a stash buster. If you've got a lot of leftover goods from previous wreaths or other arrangements that you've done, this is perfect for taking that and really getting rid of some of that extra stuff. And then, you know, it's a win-win because now you've got space to go buy more stuff, right? That's how I'm looking at it. Oh, I just made some room. Now I can go out and buy some more greens. Yeah. Because I don't know if this is the week that Hobby Lobby did their 50% off or not, but let me tell you, as soon as I find out, if it's not, I'll be there the next week. So here's, again, just filling in these pieces so that you can still see the bows, and it still shows as though, you know, this bow was here originally, and the greens are kind of growing out forth from it. This is the part that makes me happy, makes it look natural. It makes it look as natural as it possibly can for it being a artificial wreath, right? None of this stuff grows here in where I'm from. And then again, even if it did, it wouldn't really last very long. This will come back for you every single year, and it will wait on your door, and it'll wait in your garage, wherever you decide to store it, and it'll always be there for you. Okay. I'm looking at some of these longer pieces, and I'm just trying to see if I want to place them here, there, or the other. I need to get a little bit more filler in on these guys. But I also still have a lot of other pieces, so I don't know if I want to place that one there. I'm going to place this one here. I'm just taking a peek, guys. If you don't like something, pull it out, try it on the opposite side. I don't believe I like that, so let me see if I can, how far up here I can go. That's too long on that piece. I think I'm going to keep it up over here. Yeah. So hold on one sec, guys. I found a good spot for it. I'm just going to make sure I have a good way to kind of... Oh, see, that came off. I'll put that on later. And everything's, I mean, you've got to bend things, get them around. Shouldn't, it's just a little, this one's a little bit difficult, but I'm going to get it where I need it. I will win. I may need to cut it shorter too. Hold on one sec, guys. How's everyone doing? Dorothy, the flowers are 50% off this week. Okay, good. So I guess I know what I'm doing on my lunch hour tomorrow when I get back to work. Okay, this guy's not agreeing with me. So a little bit part of, this is what I was talking about with the grapevine. Sometimes you gotta really work with it, move it around, change things up a little, get things to agree with you or not. All right, I'm pretty good with that piece right there. But it was all about trying to make sure I like the way it was coming out from here. So I need to peek where I have it, and I'm keeping track of that space there. Because once I add glue to this guy, and I see what's causing the problem. This piece right here, there was a leaf on it. Now I don't have an issue. That's what I was fighting with the whole time. All right, so I remember where I had that placed, sort of. I think I had it right through here. Yes, I did. Get my bow around it there. Okay, yeah. So now I'm going to put that in my glue skillet, glue it up on the end, and put it in its permanent home. There we go. And then again, don't worry if your bows get smushed, because that is the name of the game. That's just how that's just what happens when you're making things, especially any kind of wreath, topiary arrangement. Bows get smashed. And that's also part of the reason why wired ribbon is so useful. Okay guys, that's what we got so far. I got a lot of these leaves, these grapevine leaves. They're little. Let me pull this guy here like this. And see, look, and I'm guilty. I'm pulling at my own bow. Just don't worry about the bow. I'll adjust that in a second. All right, so this is what we have so far. Greens, one type of ribbon. So now I'm going to just keep clipping things off and filling in the spaces. And I'll show you guys how far we get as we go. Okay. What's the best type of greenery to use in a grapevine wreath? I haven't found any so far that I don't like. I basically just buy what I like and what I think looks pretty. And then every once in a while you'll come across something where you need a pick machine or you need to put it on floral pieces, those types of things. I don't really know that there's a bad greenery. I mean, does anybody else have any input on that? The best type of greenery for a grapevine? I pretty much think they're all the same. I don't believe that there's any one piece that's not good, but I haven't come across it yet, at least. So that's a good thing, right? So these I've pulled off the bush, but I'm going to be cutting them in half to make different picks out of them. So this one has berries and leaves on it, and I'm going to cut it, excuse me, I'm going to cut it off further down here. So now I've made a pick out of this piece. And this piece has a longer stem, but I'm just going to cut that off. So now this is what, here we go. This is what we had, is one piece here. And now I've turned it into two. Just to make it shorter, if that's the need that you have for your piece you're working on. So I'm going to put this here because I for sure want these berries to kind of complement down here on this end. So I definitely like that. And the rest of this really is literally just fill it in. So I'm going to commit to that piece, and as soon as you like something, glue it in, put it in its permanent home. And then this also helps cover the pipe cleaner that we put down here for this piece of the loop, the ribbon loop that we have. I also like to put pieces under the ribbon, so we have the ribbon coming up out of this. Or the ribbon will lay on top of it as a support. That's never, you know, don't worry about covering things up. That's the nature of the beast, I guess. It's the nature, it's the name of the game. And all it is about placement. So pull it up, pull it out, take it back in. If you don't like it, move it to another side. Keep placing it in areas where you know it'll make you happy. So I'm going to add this guy to this side over here. Now that's kind of long. I'm going to clip it off just a little bit more. So really that's all I'm placing into my wreath. It's kind of short and it's small, but I don't need that much shoved into the wreath here because it's going to stick to this ribbon. It's going to stick to its surrounding the other greenery I have in here, and then also the ribbon and the pipe cleaner. So it's got a lot of support. It still has a lot of support that it's being placed in. Yeah, so the rest of this is you guys pull your pieces, cut them up, start placing them, and then within a certain time frame you'll start to notice that your piece is filling in really nicely and you're finding placement a lot easier. You're seeing that there's a lot less things to actually find a home for. There's a lot less to have to take into account. You don't have to worry about, okay, well I need a bigger piece here, I need a smaller piece here. You can just place them in together and things just start to really, see that? I'm really liking that. Things just start to really look like they were meant to be there. And that's usually how you'll see the progression of your wreath will go. You'll say, you know, this is really turning out great and I'm really loving it. Just filling in more, filling in more. see, spring is 40% off at Hobby Lobby. Spring? I haven't, oh my gee. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby, and usually I go once a week, and you guys know that. That's part of the best part about working down the street from a Hobby Lobby. I can go on my lunch hour, and I do a lot. I go on my lunch hour, just cutting up these guys right here, turning them into other picks. So, guess I know what I'm doing tomorrow, right? On my lunch hour. Gonna go to Hobby Lobby. I also want to get more lamb's ear, just because I don't know if that's going to end up being a seasonal thing, and that maybe for Christmas it won't be there anymore. So I want to get some more lamb's ear. It's so fuzzy, and it's like the perfect color to add a little bit of, extra. I wouldn't say it doesn't go towards the blue side of it, but it's just so pretty that I want to get some more of that before it kind of goes out of season. The spring stuff is going to take over soon. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby to see what their spring stuff is. I specifically stayed away because I knew when I went there, I was going there twice a week at the end right there, and I was getting lots and lots and lots of Christmas stuff. But I got really great deals, and I got a lot of good greenery. So stay tuned, guys, because next year the greenery is going to be amazing. Just because I got it for such a good price. That's what I meant. I'll be extremely happy because of the smoking deal I got on it. I mean, I was there when they're doing what? I think it was 70% off, which I'm sure they have more stuff. It probably got up to higher. Anybody know how much it got up to? Oh yeah, they closed for the holiday. Yeah. Hi Rosie, first time viewer from Texas. Hi, thank you for joining me. So happy to have you with us. So nice. There we go. That's where it needs to go. Okay, found my placement. I'm going to put my glue in here. There we go. Found the spot. All these little leaves that fall off, you guys, these are the best kind also. This is where you're going to place these in your bow. That's why I want it to fall off while I'm working on it. Please do. That's the best, it's the best time for it to happen. But those are the little extra pieces that if you don't want to place them back in your project, you can place them in your bow, and it will be a-okay. Need something else right here. There's a hole right here. I need to place something there. I got two more. No, I got 3 more berry sprigs. So I guess I'm just going to use this whole bush. Sometimes I don't think I use everything, but leftovers aren't a bad thing. So how are you guys? Peggy, you love it. Thank you so much. I really love to hear that, you guys. Sometimes when you're creating stuff, you realize, like, is this really just my taste? And hey, you know what? If it is, sometimes I create stuff that's not my taste, but I end up still loving it. I just wouldn't, I would not have picked it for my own home. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'm going to put these white berries here. I got berries. These berries are kind of hidden, but you get them, they peek through a little bit. So yes, I'm going to put that there. Just enough to start filling in all the spaces. I want the ribbon to peek through. I don't necessarily need it to be the main event. Everything is just going to complement each other. Everything's going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, peek here, peek there. This is going to go here. I had an idea, but I don't know. I'm just going to place this here, and then I'm going to hold it up to see if it's going to do what I want it to. So it'll be 1 second, guys. Plus, I don't know if it's going to work out because I can't seem to find a place for it. It doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to go. No. See, what I don't like is it just sticks straight out right here. You see that? It doesn't look right. But it does need something right here. Or maybe I need to grab a different type of bush type greenery. Let's just see. I might be able to cut some of those long pieces up to get what I want it to do. It's not working. Okay, I gotta cut this guy into a longer stem. So here's the normal stem. I love doing this too because you can get so many picks out of just one bush. So I pulled this and I cut this piece off, right? But then I'm gonna cut it here, towards the base of it here. So now I've turned this piece into a shorter pick. And now this piece has become a longer pick, and I have a lot more stem here to work with to place this where I'm wanting it to go. So I'm just going to work these leaves so that, you know, the greener part shows more. That's what I really want to show. And I'm going to see if I can get that right through here to support this loop back here, because it's needing some green back here. It's almost like I have to put it behind the bow here. I'm not sure why I'm not getting the effect I want. So one sec, guys. Just gonna keep working through this. Pearl in Texas, thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it. Love the lamb's ear. Bought out all Michael's had. I've used it in my winter wreaths. Yes, lamb's ear looks awesome. No matter what, you know, whether it's, and it doesn't have to be Christmas. And yes, I love it is, and it is seasonal, so that does tell me that Hobby Lobby has really long stems and shorter stems of it. All right, that's sticking out, but I like that much better. If you guys can see, it's this piece right here. It's giving more support to the bow because the bow is a little bit bigger. So if you guys can kind of see here, this piece here, that's what I just put in. So I'm not going to take it out just because I had a heck of a time getting it in there. So that's where your glue gun comes in handy. So I'm going to shoot glue right here at the base of it. And then it's going to sink. It's sinking down in there. It's not coming out, yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit of a small battle, but I won. Yeah, I'm not going to pull that one out, but I really like how it turned out, so I'm leaving it right where it was. Okay, so this guy I'm going to glue in. These little tiny things, I used to just separately work on bows or just separately work on, you know, one piece or one greenery. And if you're doing a larger project and you know you're going to be using all of one thing or another, then go for it. Just only work with one piece or one greenery or one stem. Projects like this, since I've never done this before, but so far what's happening is that it's easier for me to kind of use a few of one and then go back to another, pull out some more ficus, cut that off. I'm going to use a fern, but I've already, you know what I mean? I didn't go just all fern and then just all the greenery and then just all the berries. It's coming together for me as I'm mixing things up. I'm just kind of experimenting and adding this or the other. I find a hole here, or I find a pocket here. This might look better on this side. All these little different factors. It's kind of coming to life for me. And I'm liking what I see here. It's definitely very good, making me happy. So I think what I'm going to do here is I need to put some of this on this side. I'm noticing a little bit of imbalance, and that's normal, and it's a-okay. I'm going to take this guy off right here and see. Mary says beautiful. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Love it. Where is the top of the wreath? I wanted the bow to be the top, but apparently what's happening is I'm hanging it right here. So this is how I'm going to hang the wreath. So the top is here, my flower's off to the right. My bow sorta is the top, but everything's kind of lending to the left and a little bit on the right. So it's not exactly straight up in the middle. I planned on doing everything in the middle and just having it go left and right in an even sort of left and right side, and that's not happening. My propensity to go diagonally seems to be winning. Maybe obviously it has to be subconscious because I hadn't planned on doing it this way. So guaranteed this is a subconscious thing. Creature of habit, right guys? I mean, if you're used to doing something a certain way and then eventually it just becomes second nature. Apparently I'm a diagonal. I'm one of those diagonals. Yep, like that there. So I'm going to place that there. Just little tiny things that I saw a little space opening and I didn't want to forget about it. So I'm just going to place this right here. because I'm needing to cover up this little piece here where the loop comes in. You can see a little bit of the pipe cleaner. So I wanted to lend that there. Now these little guys here, remember these, I think these are sage or something. These little light frosty leaves, I'm going to place these throughout. And I think this is going to give that little light pop of color that it needs. Looking at it here, I'm not sure if it still translates to you guys, but it does seem kind of dark. We have a bright flower and a few little berries, but it does seem kind of dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I've got all my holes filled. I want to put a little bit more into this bow. Let's see how much I can get in there. That's really soft, so it's not going to need much to stick to. Let me see if I can make this into something. I had another piece that came off of something somewhere. Is this it? No, this was it right here. Will that fit? I'm basically piecing this thing together. I'm like making it, I'm turning it into something it wasn't. So I'm taking a piece that fell off of another part of the bush and I'm jamming it down onto the end that I just cut off. So I'm making my own little pick out of it. I've turned it in from one piece to two and I'm going to use, let me see if it comes off. No. And I'm going to use this and I'm going to place it down into the bow. Or do I want it to come out from right there? Oh yes, I really like that. So I'm going to, actually, yeah, I'm going to put it there. When it works, it works. It works. Sometimes you can fuss with stuff a little bit too much. So I'm trying to not get too down deep involved in it, but this is the part that really, when it starts to come together, it starts to get exciting. What do you guys think so far? Create as you go, not a cookie cutter design. Absolutely love it. Yes, I agree. That's right, Cindy Lou. It is not cookie cutter at all. It's a inspirational. Yes, it comes to me. As it comes to you, that's the kind. New to your web. What is in the little electric pan? Oh, okay, Carol. This right here is a glue skillet. So I got a hot glue gun, and then I have a skillet where there's hot glue in that also. And you just cut up glue sticks, and it melts it. So it makes it easier to dip floral stems in. It is a lifesaver on arrangements and wreaths. I love it. I only got it maybe a few months ago, and I have absolutely loved it. I wanted to go buy another one, but they've doubled the price. Apparently, demand has gone up to the point, I know on some other lives I've watched, a lot of the other designers have mentioned where everybody could go to get them. I got this guy for $25 in May. I went online after Christmas because I got some Amazon gift cards. I went online after Christmas to get another one just to have a backup. It's $44 now. So supply and demand really makes a difference. So for now, I'm just going to wait on that because I bought the glue gun. I definitely needed the glue gun. But this glue skillet has been an absolute time saver. It's been very, very convenient. I love it. So I recommend you guys getting one too. And the nature of the beast is we sell them out, the demand goes up, price goes up. So I can't be mad at anybody about it, but I'm just going to wait on that for a little bit because I only paid I think it was $23, and then because I have Amazon Prime, we didn't pay for shipping. It's like 23 something, came into 25 bucks total. Yeah, I can't, that $44 price tag's a little sticker for me, so maybe later on I'll get over it. But for now, I'm not ready to. I have to let myself accept it. I can't be the only one on that. Like, nah, I'm a little angry. I'll wait till I'm not so moody about it, and I'll buy one later. But right now, nah. $25 to $44. And I also don't need it. I just wanted a backup because it's going to be one of those days where you go and you get into your craft room and you're so ready to create something, or you're on a time crunch and you need to get something done and then it doesn't turn on or it won't melt your glue. So I mean, that's why I got backup glue guns, but I mean, otherwise I'm sitting here and I'm gluing the end of every single piece as opposed to just dipping it in. It's one of those luxuries you get used to. And then you have to go without. Who wants to do that? Let's see, this little piece came off. Alright, so what I'm going to do is glue that. If I find little pieces that come off, I just kind of dip the ends into the tip of the glue gun and pop that sucker right back on there, and then it won't come back off again. High likelihood that other pieces are going to do that too, but I mean, to glue every single little piece, I mean, come on, who does that? Who's going to have the time and or the patience to get all that done? So I'm adding these little sagey pieces right now, and they really are making that, they're really putting a really pretty pop of color right where I want it. So this is turning out very, very nice. I'm very happy with this. So of everything, I got a lot of dark greens, and then I grabbed these little guys here. And I'm fairly certain you can still get these. I got these at Hobby Lobby on their Greenery aisle. So they still have these guys. And I know they also still sell, I mean, it's right where these ferns are. So these guys are like the smaller type bushes on their Greenery aisle. I know for a fact they have them still because I habitually go down that aisle. For some reason, the Greenery aisle, I think, is my favorite place to go. And I think it's because I live in the desert and I love green. I like anything green. I love flowers. I love trees and bushes. It's also probably why I want to live where it snows, because when the snow is gone, everything is green and lush. You know, places where you don't have to install irrigation systems. You don't... Things just grow. You just have to mow the lawn because it grows. You don't have to make sure your sprinklers are put on at a certain time. Oh yes, this stuff, you guys, is just really... All I'm doing is taking it and I'm popping it in here. And I'm popping it in here. And then as soon as you see what this extra little light green, these little light green pieces are doing, it's just adding the perfect amount of light pieces, and it's making things. I put some right here. I put some right there. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I'm getting excited over this. This is the best part. Towards the end of the project, you can really tell just how happy you're becoming with how it's looking. It's almost like, okay, it's almost time to stop, which I don't like to stop, but this is really coming together. It's making me so happy. I am going to list this on my Etsy shop, you guys. So, I mean, as badly as I want to keep it, you can't keep everything, because it's like puppies and kittens. You can't take them all home, even though we want to. So I am going to list this on my Etsy shop for sale, guys. So if you guys want, take a peek at my Etsy shop or share it. Help me get notice. So this gal will be for sale to make someone else happy, but dang, do I want to keep it. Can't keep it all, right? It's like going Christmas shopping. I may have came home with maybe gifts for other people and then maybe 4 or 5 things on my phone. But we don't have to talk about that. Again, I'm the only person that did that, right? Like, we'll just pretend that it was Christmas for myself and I already got it handled, so you don't have to do it, right? That's how it works. I think the bow needs a little bit more greenery, but I'm really loving that. So I've only used one of these. So that was one of these little guys, and they're $5 or $6, so 50% off. I got it for $3. I used one, and I got that many picks out of it, but I don't know if I want to use, I might use a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 options to pull off of here when you cut it apart. This is also what I do when I go shopping. I take a bush, and I will sit and I'll pull off and bend out and cut how many and see how many little sprigs or picks I can get within that bush, and then try to see if the price for me justifies. Okay, well, per piece, how many is it? Regular price is $6, means each one of those was $1 each, but 50% off, $3 divided by 6, not so bad. I can do that. Same thing with this. This one, it wouldn't be just 3 sprigs because I've already cut lots of pieces off of it. It's just, you have to visualize and see how many picks you can get off of one branch or off of one bush. This guy is just one stick here, but I would cut here, here, and here, so I get 3 picks out of it. It's about seeing how far you can make it go. See how far you can make it last, or stretch it out to fit the project that you want, to fit your needs and how you want it to, how you want things to ultimately be complete. One of my little shopping habits, just wanted to share with you guys. That's how I do a lot of my shopping. That's how I do all that there. Okay, I'm going to cut that because that's too long. But I think I'm going to place that last greenery piece here. I'm going to put a little bit of a curl in it. So it's coming up over the flower. Yes. So what I did here, guys, was I just kind of pushed and shoved this into the top of the flower. And I'm liking that the greenery kind of looks like it's coming over this way. So what I need to do is pull my bow back and push my flower forward and see just how far in here and where I have it at. Remember that placement. And then you can place and you know, bend and fluff things and move them back to their original space. But you've got to get that stuff moved out of the way in order to make sure you have it where it originally was. That's just for placement. I'm going to put a little bit of bend in it to go over the bow. So I'm pushing my finger in and bending it towards the bow, or towards the flower. And then there's my ribbon, which now I'm just going to cut it right now. I usually wait until the end to cut the ribbons off, but this one is just way too long. So I'm just cutting a little bit more off of that, and I think I'm going to cut even more off of it in a sec. So let me just check here. I got more pieces that fell. So right now I'm filling in the bow, and I think I'm pretty much done. I've added a lot of pieces all around here, and I'm pretty sure I'm happy. If I get it up on the door when I'm taking pictures, and I see from a different angle that I need to add something else to it, I take it right back down and I just add to it. I usually keep my glue skillet plugged in while I'm taking the pictures, just because there's always that off chance that, number one, either something falls off of it and you need to fix it, or number two, you feel that you need something to fill a void, fill a hole. I placed something in there somewhere and now I lost it, see? Start grabbing things and tugging on it. Maybe oh, here it is. It's this one. Okay. So this is the filler for the bow. So I'm making sure it's sticking to all of the bow. And I'm getting it down into the center of the bow as much as I possibly can. I don't want to glue it too far to the ends of the loops, because then that's going to affect when you fluff the bow, and it'll affect getting your bow kind of looking full. I just want the greenery in here to kind of support the loops, kind of hide the inner mechanics of it, behind the scenes goodies, all that jazz. So let me take a look here, guys, and see what, I think I need something right in there. I definitely need something right in here. Right in here. I'm going to cut this guy off here. Let me find a full one. There we go. What do you guys got going on? Nice contrast makes the color pop. Yes, I agree, Sinu. Thank you. Nice. Okay. I bought the storage carousel you have at Michael's with a coupon. Oh my God, they still have it, Carol. That's so awesome. So they still have this thing. I got a lot of comments, people asking about it. So, oh yeah, this is a biohazard sticker. My sister got that for me a long time ago. So you guys get to see the behind the scenes. It's a sister thing. It's a zombie movie video game thing between me and my sister. But yeah, biohazard sticker in my beautiful floral feminine craft room. So excuse that if you guys didn't want to see it. But this little carousel, yeah, I got a lot of questions and comments. A lot of people were excited and interested in it. And I didn't know that they still had it. So if you guys need one, go to Michael's with the coupon. Carol got it for $23. So that's pretty awesome. You see, how many did I miss? If I missed a lot of comments, I'll go back over them and you guys will get a notification. I'll answer your questions if I missed them. I really hate if that happens. Sorry. Nice contrast, Cindy Lou, yes. Margarita, what's your Etsy shop name? Margarita, my Etsy shop name is Crafty Thoughts Shop. And I have a link to it on my Facebook page, but I also have a link on all my YouTube videos too. But it's just called Crafty Thoughts Shop. And you should be able to find me in there. You'll see my picture. I'm in there. Teresia, hi. Paulette, what would this sell for? Oh, geez, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet. You got to take into effect all of your supplies, and then I kind of guesstimate on the yardage of ribbon that I used. And then there's a business model that was given by my mentor, Julie Samaka. It's a retail pricing sheet. And I usually have to go by a certain percentage to either pay myself 10%, that type of thing. Because pricing things out per hour, I mean, I talk so dang much that that really wouldn't work out. Anne, can't believe that you made it. I had to do de-Christmas my house. Oh, so you took all your Christmas down, huh, Anne? Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I still turn my lights on. I probably like to wait closer to the end of the month. I'm one of those people that leaves their stuff up way too long. Because when I take it down, it makes me sad. So, you know, the front room looks a little drab because the lights aren't there, and I miss the Christmas tree kind of thing. So that's just how I do that. And that's where I need to place this back here. I haven't taken anything down. I mean, I've put the presents away, and I cleared out the boxes and the gifts and stuff, so it kind of looks like pre-Christmas again, where you just have your tree out, no gifts under the tree or anything like that. But I'm going to start clearing off like my tabletop decor and my wall decor, but I'm probably going to leave the tree up at least till the end of the month, because I like to turn the lights on, especially when we're eating dinner. I'll turn all the lights off in the living room and just have the Christmas tree lights on. And I think it's pretty. I mean, if it was, technically, you don't have to, nothing needs to be socially acceptable for you to do it. So it's not like I'm saying I have to have a socially acceptable house, but if it was, I would leave that tree up year round. Figure if you go to the cabins, if you have a cabin or you live in the woods, there's trees there year round. They don't go away just because it's not December. Just because I live in the desert doesn't mean I can't have a tree in August. I mean, it's not that bad, guys, but trust me, I have contemplated it many times. I was like, I could try it this year. I could be one of those people that, you know, decorates the tree for every season. Although 7.5 feet, you know, I had a 9-foot tree. You guys probably know that story from Facebook. 7.5-foot tree to decorate for St. Patty's. I mean, again, St. Patty's Day is not big out here. Unless, I mean, I'm not Irish, so I don't know if it's a heritage thing or just a Las Vegas thing, other than people love to drink green beer here. I don't know if I would want a 7.5-foot St. Patty's Day themed tree. But I really would love to fill a 7.5-foot tree with like hydrangeas and burlap and ribbon. It'd be like a massive flower arrangement in your front room that's lighted year round. That's kind of a good idea, right? It's a pine tree, but don't discriminate. It's green, it's pretty, and I like it. Isn't that the prerequisite? It's green, it's pretty, and I like it. And that's all I have to worry about, right? It's green, it's pretty, and I like it. That's going to be my new motto. Why did you do that? Because it's green, it's pretty, and I like it. What do you guys? Margarita Etsy shop name. Yep. Crafty Thoughts Shop. Thanks. Okay. Letty thinks it's beautiful. Stacy Snowflake is watching. My sister has arrived, you guys. Hi, Stace. Hi, sister. Sorry for being late. Love your top. Yep. Yep. It's fine. You're allowed. You'll catch the playback. I know. Thank you. I watch TV with the tree lights on as well. Sandy, hey, I'm not alone. It's just something about being in the dark with the tree lights. The Christmas tree lights just make it so pretty. When I was little, I used to lay underneath the tree and look up the tree with all the lights on. And then we did that every year. Plus, my mom has an older house, so she has a wood-burning fireplace. In Las Vegas, newer houses, wood-burning fireplaces are, I guess it's a code thing, so everybody has gas fireplaces. But my mom's house has a wood-burning fireplace. And laying underneath the tree with the fireplace on and just looking up at the lights, it's one of those good memories that kind of just makes you happy and warm inside that you kind of just can't get over. You want to continue to do it. So I guess me leaving my Christmas lights up, or my tree up, for at least till the end of the month is my way of of getting that little bit of extra out of the holiday. Or at least out of the season. And my hubs doesn't mind, so... I mean, if he didn't want it, obviously I'd take it down, but he's so easygoing. He agrees with so much stuff. I really got lucky there. He has absolutely no preference. He's like, I like what you like. You're the designer. You're the one that decorates. He's also colorblind, so that's probably a good idea that I did that anyways, but... So a lot of stuff either does or doesn't make sense to him. That's just how it is. So a lot of times I ask him, I was like, so, because he's red-green colorblind. So I was like, so what does Christmas look like to you? He's like, I don't know. I can just tell you what I've always, because he's been that way since birth. He's always been colorblind. So it's like, all right, it's a good thing you're not picking out the fabrics and the towels and the sheets. But he can still tell things complement each other a little bit. You guys, I think I'm done. I'm going to hold it up real quick, and you guys tell me if you see any spots or if you think I need to add anything else to it, okay? So let's see. Oh, here we go. Lauren, can you hold it up against the wall so we can get a better look? Absolutely. That's what I'm going to do here. Let me move this a little bit more this way. And see if I can get this here for you guys. This is where I have... I'm pretty sure I'm done with it. I don't see any spots or holes. Once I get it up on the door and I take pictures of it, that could still change. But here, let me put this up further so you guys don't have to see the workspace. And move it up here. It's kind of far away, but I'm thinking that this thing is pretty much how I'm going to leave it. I'm pretty happy with it. Now that angle I don't think you guys can see very well. All right, so let me see here. Sandy, you said you love it. Oh, I'm getting hearts. Thanks, guys. I love that. I don't get to see that very often. That's kind of awesome. This is probably one of my biggest lives. I can see here I got 128 people, so that's kind of flattering. That's really awesome. I'm so happy. Connie, you take your tree down in the middle of the month, like having tree lights on also. Okay, good. I'm not alone on that. See, the more I talk about this stuff, the more I find out we have so much in common. Like all of us people, we're all humans, and apparently we all like the same stuff. It's kind of awesome. Anne, you like that idea? Giant permanent floral tree year-round would be awesome. I agree. So I'm kind of thinking, we'll see. Maybe the cable guys or the people who come in to do maintenance on the house are like, why do you have your tree up in August? I'm like, because it's pretty and it's green and I like it. Oh, I'm Wiccan, and we have a celebration roughly every 6 weeks. So we have a tree up all year round with different colors depending on the celebration. So you have a year-round themed celebration or themed holiday for your religion. That's kind of awesome too. That's kind of awesome. Love it. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So you guys are liking what's here. So you can see the bigger, where are we at? The bigger bow here. I've stuck a lot of green in it. So you just see a bunch of loops, then 2 loops, and then you see my little extra pieces here, a little bit here. So it did turn out to be on this side, not necessarily in the middle. I'll show you guys some close-ups here. I really like how this is all covered. Here's the back of it. Sometimes that counts. Now here's the lighter colored pipe cleaner I used on the bow. So again, if the back is very, use a leaf and cover that up. The other pieces you can't see as much, like right here and here, I'll point them out because I use the darker pipe cleaner to hold in that ribbon. So, I mean, if that's important to you, cover that with a leaf. I am going to do that. I have these big leaves here that were left on the stem from the hydrangea. So I'll just pop one of those off. And then I'll glue that back here just like that. So that's what the back of it will look like after I glue it on. So, because this is going up for sale on my Etsy shop, you guys will see the construction. You'll see everything done. That piece will be covered. Because whether it's important to you or not, everything that I sell, I make sure that those pieces are covered. But if you're going to keep it for you and it's not that big of a deal, you can just leave that there. Here's like this side of it. So if it's hanging against the wall, you've got a little bit of grapevine showing through here, but not too bad. Let's turn it around this side. This side has much more covering on it because of it's fuller. So there isn't any grapevine showing through here when you hang it up against the wall. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the gist of it. It was really fun with you guys today. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot of new things. Beautiful, beautiful. It's beautiful, Rosie. Thank you, Carolyn. Very pretty. Thank you, guys. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I'm getting hearts and thumbs ups. I love that. That's so awesome. So thank you, guys. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. Keep the comments coming. Remember, I am going to be doing some more YouTube videos. I got a new camera, if you didn't hear earlier. I got a new camera just to record videos on, so they'll be really good quality. And of course, if you don't follow me on YouTube, I'll post the link to the YouTube channel or the YouTube video on my Facebook page. But you will have to go to YouTube to watch it, because I'm going to do a little bit more detailed videos for YouTube. But I'm going to continue doing these live. So don't be concerned that I'm going to stop, because I'm not going to stop anything. If anything, 2018 is going to bring you a lot more of Whitney and crafty thoughts and whatnot. So I'm going to go full bore on this, you guys. I really want to keep this up, and I want this to be my full-time gig. So I appreciate all your support and your ideas. You guys have sent me some amazing pictures, and I'm going to put them together in a little post so I can show everybody what we're all doing. Other than that, let's see. Happy New Year. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Whitney. That was great. All right, guys. So until the next video, you guys take care. Be nice to each other, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.